We are very pleased to have this time to speak with you, as always. And so, our writer has asked that we speak specifically amongst these very beautiful waves, each one unique, each one empowered with its own voice and presence and spirit. They are a kind of miracle, as the sea is a miracle, and the land, and all of you, likewise great miracles. And so the question has been asked, how do we deal with all of these lower vibrational attempts to keep us down and hold us back? And certainly, this is correct. The idea is to hold people in a place not simply of fear, but of obedience. That if you want to stay alive and keep your friends and family near you and also well, you will have to follow directions and also put up with the real loss. And that isn't really true, and all of you have realized that in your own way. Any more than it's true that you need to fundamentally change who you are in order to be acceptable. This is not true. This is our gathering time, the time to bring in the harvest, and within the harvest comes the winnowing, where we separate the wheat from the chaff. What do we want to take with us on the next spot of our journey, and what is no longer relevant or resonant? September is for action with an eye on both the past and the future, taking stock of where we've come from, with an equally discerning eye on where we are going next. We are preparing for the future as we are simultaneously winding down the past. So, this is not a month for solitude, solitary contemplation, meditation, or spending too much time reviewing the past, in spite of September's retrogrades and 7 vibe. This is a month for the future, opening new pathways and considering other options, and for looking at what we've been creating on our life path. Even with the hefty slate of retrograde action, September is a month to take action and to be a part of the action, creating our own action as we embrace our power and empowerment and light on our path. Do you remember what it feels like to float in the water like when we were a kid? When you could jump in the pool or play in the ocean for hours, and even though your skin might have gotten all wrinkly in your fingertips, and your teeth might even be shattering as the sun recedes from the peak of the day, your consciousness was on the feeling of play. It was on the feeling of buoyancy, and not on your hunger per se, or your wrinkly skin, or your tiredness from a great day spent in the sun. Were you tired? Maybe. But did you feel tired? Most would say no. You were so focused on the joy of the experience of the full freedom of summer that you may not even have noticed the discomfort that other parts of you felt. We are using this example to invite you to play in the multidimensional movie play out as a multidimensional reality right now, where you focus on how good it feels to breathe with Source, how great it feels to be with Source, and how awesome it feels to really allow yourself to tune to the vibrations in the power of your greatest dream. And you know yourself as divine and unable to be squashed down with anything less than the best dream you've dreamt in all of your life. And yet, all of your soul groups have taken this on, and you've all said, collectively as one voice, We are going to move forward in ways that release the density of the third dimension and the old power structure. We are not going to bring that with us. Indeed, you cannot bring it with you. There is nothing about the fifth dimension or your new earth that desires to bring forth any vestige of the old. And sometimes our cleansing occurs, and that can happen physically, and sometimes a release occurs, which can also happen physically. And all of you work very hard in your sleep state to bring that about. Now, how do you do that? Alright. There are processes which you and many others have enabled on this planet which take place in the etheric. So it's not going to look like a laboratory. It's not going to look like a place where there are grand experiments going on, per se, because it's all happening energetically. The laboratory, if you need one, in this planet, and this was always to be a place of experimentation, a place of great diversity, have all certainly achieved that. With increasing levels of love and acceptance of diversity, racially and otherwise. And the life changes you've been considering from a distance suddenly become your top concern or consideration because you get sick. A deadline looms, or the foundation drops out of whatever you've been using to support your life and lifestyle. This includes the end of relationships, living arrangements, where you live and who you live with, and new life choices that once were the best thing for you now no longer work, make sense, or are desirable. What was once a part of the convergence of energies in your life, where you did your best to bring energies together and force them to cooperate, are now divergent. They are expressing their true nature, and the result is like an orchestra where every instrument is playing a different song. We can spend a lot of time maneuvering ourselves into place before we make any actual move, and that can be a problem. In our attempts to set ourselves up for the perfect landing, we circle aimlessly around the situation, waiting for the right moment to move or set things in motion. Can you imagine being on an airplane and approaching your destination, plotting how you are going to run through the airport because you have a connecting flight? And the pilot spends an hour circling around the airport trying to maneuver the plane to plan for the perfect landing. I have been in many airplanes, and the passengers are willing to tolerate some rough landings as long as the plane lands safely and they can leave to complete the next part of their journey.